Welcome to Netlabs Hub. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to configure Enterprise IPSec VPN in FortiGate Firewall using GNS3 emulator. This is the topology that I'm using. At the end of this video, you will be in position to configure Enterprise IPSec VPN. You will understand what IPSec VPN does, or generally what is VPN, what it does, and how to configure it, especially when you are having FortiGate Firewall in your enterprise network environment. So walk with me as I start this configuration. But before that, let me explain what this topology means step by step. So I start here. This is the edge router, the router that is at the periphery of the enterprise network infrastructure. Then I'm using this cloud to simulate the internet. Between two sides here, I have site A having a FortiGate firewall, also site B having FortiGate firewall. So between the firewalls and the router exists two subnets that are within the public IP segment. Then on site A, there is site A LAN, local area network. This can be multiple local area networks within this particular site. Then site B, I have another local area network having Ubuntu server here. Then there is an administrator here. Then there is one computer here. This one means just many computers that might be available. So when we come to side A, you find that there is Windows Server 2012, which is the domain controller in that site. Then administrator. Site A is working on 192.168.11.0/24. It means I have 254 IP address in this segment and also 254 IP address in this segment. So let me start. I will start by assigning IP addresses. I start with the router. You can see here .1, it means the first IP address in this segment will be assigned on the router. Same applies to this segment on this router. Then this port here, the port that is facing the internet, it will be in DHCP mode. It will be in DHCP mode, which means that it will receive an IP address automatic from the internet. So let me configure the IP address on the router, that is on edge router. So let me just do it minimized here so that at least you can see what I'm typing. So the first thing, config terminal. We go to global configuration, we set the host name, then edge router 1. After there, now I assign the IP address interface, the interface facing the LAN for site A, that is 1/0, then IP address 10.10.10.1 255.255.255.252. No shutdown. Then we describe this interface, site A LAN gateway. That is, the moment I type no shutdown, you realize that the interface is now up. So next I move to the interface facing this side, side B. Exit interface. Which interface is this? G20 IP address 20.20.1 .1.255.255.255.252. No shutdown. Description. Site B. LAN. So after there, I enable this port gigabit Ethernet 0/0 to receive IP address automatic from the internet. So the same procedure, we move from privilege mode to configuration, global configuration mode, using configure terminal. Then from there we specify the interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0, then IP address. This time we use DHCP. Description: connected to the internet. So I have done assigning IP address on that router in the 3 segments that you've seen. So I'm going to create static routes and enabling the edge router to perform IP routing. So to do that, config terminal IP routing, then I create static route here, this, so that traffic can flow from this LAN up to this router. Then this one can also flow from this LAN to up to this router. So I start with this 0.255.255.255.0, then the gateway, the destination, it will be this interface. So it is saying invalid next hop. So it is invalid next hop. Okay, so if this one can ping .2 is the interface that is facing the firewall here. So that is how I'm going to do it. IP route 192.168.12.0.255.255.255.0, then 20.20.2. So once you do that, you are done. We can verify the interface. Show IP interface brief. The moment you can see here, you see this one has not received IP address, it is still down. Then this one has received this one. The reason this interface has not received IP address from this particular internet is that I just assigned the IP address to be done through the DHCP, but I did not unshut it. So let me unshut it and see. Int G00, then no shutdown. The moment I do that, then I repeat the same process. Interface brief. You see, Yes, DHCP, the interface is up. You see it has received this IP address. So this is the gateway IP address from this internet. You can see now it is assigned. This is it. So next step, I have finished configuring the router. Next step, I'm moving to this particular firewall, site A, so that on site A, I'm going to do this. I'm going to assign the interfaces, define my management interface, and also assign the DHCP on that particular interface, so that the interface that is going to serve as a DHCP server or DHCP gateway to my LAN is this port 2. So after doing that, I'll create the routes, then move to IPSec tunnel creation. So site A, this is my site A, admin. Then you see nothing has been configured on this firewall. So the moment you enter the username, it will prompt you to configure the password. So after here, config system global, set hostname, site FortiGate site A. You see, so after here, that is, I have given it, it has changed from the default hostname to my custom hostname. So this is the firewall for site A. So on this firewall, I'm going to configure in that I'm going to assign IP address, so that on port 1 it is going to have 10.10.10.2, then on port 2 it is going to have the first IP address from this segment. So that's what you should know. So config system interface, edit port 1. After editing port 1, we will clear allow access first, because that is not my management port that I'm going to use. So after there, set mode static, then set IP 10.10.2/20/30. After there, then we are done. So port 1 already I have assigned the IP address there. Maybe I can just set role, that is 1, then set alias 1. So then we end. The moment we end, config system interface, then edit port 1, then show. You see, these are the things that I have configured on port 1. I can do the same in the graphical user interface, but this is not the time I'm going to do that. So I move to port 2, config system interface, edit port 2, set role, that is LAN, set alias site A underscore LAN. So it is an error there, site A, it's okay. Set, first of all you set the mode static, then set IP 192.168.11.1/24. description. So everything in FortiGate you use the word set, description, then site A LAN. So then I do that, we verify, config sys int, then edit port 2, show. You see, there is something that I have not done on this particular port, because this is the port that I'm going to use to access this particular firewall graphically. So I'll do set allow http ssh ping then f. So this one will help me to access the firewall in the browser. Now let's check. You see, I have allowed that. So this is how to configure the FortiGate firewall interface on the CLI. That is the command prompt. It's something that you should master as a network engineer. So I have done configuration on this firewall, assigning the LAN IP here, LAN gateway, then assigning the IP interface that is facing the wide area network here, or my edge router. So the next thing is to ensure already my admin is having a static IP. This is the IP address that admin is having, you can see. So I will use this IP address to access this firewall in the browser. So let me test. Come to check on terminal. Then ping. You see, it is pinging. It is pinging, meaning I can use that IP address to access this particular firewall in the browser. So when I enter that, then IP, you see, you notice that my admin is having IP address from that particular LAN 1 segment. That is the address for the subnet from site A. So I can do this to access that particular firewall. You enter the IP, then it will give you the login web page here. See, then you enter the password and the username. Don't want to save it right now. So you begin, these are the basic settings. You enable here, then enter. So this is my firewall. You can see this is site A. So I'm going to do the same to ensure that site B is accessed. The same to ensure that site B is accessed. So, but before I proceed, I'm going to create static route, so that first of all, this particular LAN here, this LAN to access the internet, that is the first rule, to create the static route in that. So I can do in the CLI, and also I can do on the graphical interface. Now that I have accessed it, I can just do it here. So to configure static route, you come on the network, then static route here. You see there is no static route. So static route, it's like a default route in that it means here the entire subnet, so that if at all a packet is not well defined where to go, it will go through this interface. So the interface is 10.10. This is the gateway, the last resort, the IP. Sometimes it's called the gateway of the last resort. So that is 1. Then we use this interface. So that is it. This IP is the IP for this router, so that this one will access it, will go through, then using this interface. So you cannot use this particular IP that is here because it is on the same port here. So you use the last resort here. So traffic can be routed from LAN A to the gateway of that particular router. So next thing, okay, so that is a static route created. So the next thing, I'm going to create a firewall policy to allow traffic from site A LAN to go to the edge router. So this is LAN B, to LAN B to the, I can say, internet. So incoming interface is the port that is facing the LAN. Outgoing is the one port for that firewall. Then the source, I'm going to allow everything here. Let it load. So everything. When I say all under the source, I mean every IP in that particular segment will be able to ping the internet. So these are the things that you should keep in mind when configuring these rules. Here, it's all in all sessions. Ensure that NAT is enabled on this sector. Let me just confirm with you. You see NAT is enabled here. So once done, click OK. The rule is created. LAN B, there is a problem here. This is LAN A. LAN A to the internet. I haven't reached to LAN B. Sorry for that. So after you've done that, I'm almost done with the site A. So the thing that is remaining is just to create the IP tunnels. So you go to VPN, under VPN select IPSec tunnel, then click new, click on the this VPN creation wizard. So while on that section, you choose custom, then VPN to site B. You see, this is VPN that is created from site A to B. So you do that. Next. So after here, remote gateway. This is the IP address for this particular, this one. and remember this is 20.20.0.2. so that's what you should master there. Site A. So I'm using it in the GUI. Sorry. So remote 20.20.2. Then the interface that will help me go there is the one interface. After there, this is the step. Once you do that, everything remains default. Then we come to create phase 1. Remember, virtual private network always happens during 2 phases. Phase 1, we got the phase that is used for tunnel creation, creating the tunnel. Then phase 2 deals with the data transmission. So once data has been finished, once data has been transmitted, then the tunnel closes up or goes down. It only comes up when the traffic is there. So in this section here, authentication here, you see advanced. This one remains that way, the way it is. You should choose pre-shared key. Let me choose Netlabs, or I can choose Fortinet. That is it. So the pre-shared key on both sides must match for communication to happen through the tunnel, or for the VPN to come up. Failure, any discrepancy, the tunnel will remain down. So this is the key that helps you to be authenticated. So after there, internet key exchange, I'll choose version 1. So after doing so, then we delete this one. I just need 2 of them. I'm going to use DES. Then authentication, I'll just use MD5. Because this is a simulation, there is no need for complex. So after you've done there, you come for phase 2. Phase 2 selectors, we specify the peers, the remote subnet, then the local subnet. So you see here local subnet. Local subnet is this one, this IP, this segment, then remote is this segment. Remember, I'm on this particular firewall that I'm configuring here. So local 24, then remote. That is it. So once you are done with that section, you come here, phase 2. Remember, phase 1 involves specifying the subnets, specifying the pre-shared key, you see, and phase 2. So the first section deals with the tunnel creation. Then phase 2 now defines how traffic shall flow. So the same, if you used DES in phase 1, also phase 2 use the same. Diffie-Hellman group, I'm choosing 5 because you can see the strength of my encryption and authentication is not so that concrete. So after there, you choose auto negotiation. Then everything remains that way. Once done, you see the tunnel is created. So this tunnel is created to route traffic to site B. So I'm going to do the same on site. This is tunnel created on site A to route traffic to site B. So I'm going to create the same tunnel on site B so that it can route traffic to site A. So once you are done that, now you come and create the what we call the firewall policy. So that, remember the essence of tunnel here. Imagine this is a financial company. Very sensitive information is moving or flowing from site A to the headquarter. Assume site A is the headquarter and then site B is the branch. Accountant is sending the financial statements maybe to site B. You find that it goes through in normal circumstances, and then it goes through the internet. Then from the internet it goes to site B. So we want to create a tunnel in between the firewall here, so that when a computer in this side communicates with a computer in the other side, the traffic goes through the tunnel. It does not go through the internet. So that's what I have been doing here. So let me create the policy. First of all, I start with the static root. Now I change the static root because, let me show you something. If I go to, so on the static root, I'm going to create a static root for the tunnel that I have created. So the destination, it will be, I'm specifying the subnet where traffic will go. This one. That will be my destination. Let me be a bit faster. So in the essence of gateway, we are not going to use the gateway, but I'm going to use the interface. So the interface is the tunnel that I have created. So traffic will come from site A LAN through this, then through this particular tunnel, then going to second site there. So I have done so. So the next thing is firewall, creating the rules. Remember, when you fail on these rules, remember your tunnels will not be up. So this one, VPN site A to site B. So incoming interface is the local area network on that particular site, but outgoing, incoming is this one, but outgoing, I'm not going to use this interface. I'm going to use the tunnel that has been created on this firewall. Hope we are together. This is the tunnel. Then the source. On the source, I'm going to be specific to create address group here, so that LAN A is the LAN for at site A. So that is it. Then LAN B. Once you do that, I'll show you the essence of doing such. It means that I'm not going to allow any other subnet apart from what I have been given on that sector. So the source will be LAN A, then destination traffic will go to LAN B. This time I'm not allowing everything. So then service is all, schedule is always, then always remember to accept. After there, you come. So when it comes to VPN, NAT is disabled. Then here we are logging all sessions. So you see, I have created that. Then I'm going to create a reverse rule so that from site B to site A. So what you will do, you will select and then you come here, you clone and reverse. You edit that. So it will be site B, site B to site A. You see here? So that is it. You can check here. The source in the first place was LAN A, but the source this time is LAN B, meaning this is the incoming tunnel route. So remember, when you clone reverse, it is always down. So remember to bring it up. So after here, I'm almost done on this file. I have allowed this particular LAN to the internet and allow my traffic to go to the other side and also to come back. So I'm also doing the same on this firewall. So let me go back to the CLI admin, no password. Then I set the password, config. This time I'm going a bit faster. Edit port 1, set mode static, set IP, it's 20, clear, allow access. Then from there set role. This is one interface for that site B firewall. Then set alias 1, 2. Then end. Next, I'm moving to config system interface. Edit port 2. Set alias. Set allow access. This is the port that I'm going to access the firewall. So I will allow HTTPS, HTTP, FGFM, SSH, then ping. Then set mode static, set IP 192.168.12.1/24, set role LAN, set alias LAN 2, config system global, set hostname, then site B. That is it. I can set it correct. It's okay. So I'm done configuring that. Let me execute ping to the other side if at all I can reach. 10.10.10.1. You see, sent to failed. I'll show you the reason why it has failed. So while here, remember something on this I did not show you here on the interface. On the interfaces, check port 2. This is port 2. You enable the DHCP server on that interface, then it starts with maybe 10. Because a computer can be brought into that particular subnet. So that is it. Let me now try to access this particular firewall from this site. When configuring VPN, you should be patient and know the rule. Creating those rules is one of the tedious tasks that have hindered many. Ping 192.12.1. You see, it's pinging. Even it can continue pinging. So you will come on this site pin, then applications, Mozilla Firefox. Once it opens, what's not happening? You see, it's up. So you enter here the gateway. Firefox is already running, but okay. Those are the normals. So you must remember what you did on the site A. I'm also doing the same on this site B. Always remember the pre-shared key that you used and the authentication and encryption algorithm that you had chosen before. So on these segments, you come on the interfaces. Those things that I was doing on the CLI, this is the effect, you see. So you come on this LAN 2 port. That is the port connecting to site B LAN. You enable the DHCP on that port to cater for the computers that will be connected in future. So you enable the DHCP. Then here it can start at 20, no big deal. You do that. So remember what I did on that. I'm going to create static routes, firewall, policy rules, then VPN tunnel. So I will start with the static route. You see there is no route here, so I create the you see, the moment you enter there, it has already chosen itself so that it will use 20.20.20.2. This is the 1.2 port IP address to access the last IP address on the edge router. So once you do that, you do so, then the next thing, you create the VPN tunnel, so that after creating the VPN tunnel, you will come to create a static route for the tunnel, then I'll create to the two rules. After there, I'm sure the VPN tunnel will be up and we can send the traffic and see. So you come on the VPN, Once you choose on VPN, create a tunnel and define the OI. So the first one was VPN. So I'm at site B. When we were at site A, we were giving it, let me show you something here. To stop FortiGate Firewall from disturbing you every time logging you out like this way, you can enable this feature here. Then it will help you at least to stay. You come to the setting. Settings. On the settings, you go to the idle time. You extend the idle time to the maximum so that it will not log me out. So the same here, VPN to site underscore A, so that this VPN goes to site A. So you choose custom and be it faster because I had already specified how to configure. The moment you understand this, how tunnels are created, then it's okay with you. So this is the IP address, the remote for the other firewall. So I have specified this. It will use which interface? This one. After doing so, NAT, you see it's not. After doing so, specifying the network, then you come to the advanced section here. This remains the way it is. Then you come to the authentication, you choose pre-shared key, or you can use signature. Remember, we used Fortinet. We used that. Internet Key Exchange version 1. Then this one remains the way it is. Then DES MD5, then Diffie-Hellman group 5. Then after doing so, everything remains the same here, and then we come to phase 2 selectors. We choose the local subnet here, the LAN support, the LAN connected on this particular firewall, then remote, the LAN on the other side of the firewall. If you interchange this one, the tunnel will not be up. So when troubleshooting VPN, especially IPSec, always check the pre-shared key that you've used. Check whether the remote IP addresses and the local matches what is there. If it doesn't match, it will not connect. So encryption, DES. So in the advanced firmware for in FortiGate Firewall, the advanced firmwares, you may find that it is supporting SHA-256. But this one is a bit old, so the Diffie-Hellman group that you used phase 1, it should be also be used in phase 2, or else you know the consequence. This one keep it live. You can check the rule. Is it marrying what we have? Yes, it's okay. Then you can create that tunnel. You see, VPN to site A. So the next thing, I'm going to create a static route for this tunnel. So static route, come on the network, static route. You see, this is for the accessing the internet. So I'm going to add another one. So destination now, you see, I'm at site B on this firewall, on this firewall here. So destination LAN will be this one. So after here, I'm going to use the interface, not this one. I'm going to choose this one. You see, I'm going to choose that one. Then okay, I have created that static route for my tunnel. So the next thing, I'm going to create the rules. It's easy. So I'm going to create, first of all, the rule for the LAN at site B to access the internet. That's the first rule. Then the second rule will be the LAN for site B at site B to access the LAN at site A through the tunnel, then vice versa. So let me start with that one that accesses the internet. You should understand this. So LAN to internet, incoming, that is the LAN port on that firewall. Outgoing is this port here. This port is the outgoing. So after there, the source. While accessing the internet, the source doesn't matter. You just choose the source all, destination all. Then all sessions. But the trickiest part is that while creating the same rule for the tunnel, always disable NAT. So that is the first rule for the internet. Second, site underscore B to site underscore A. So the name doesn't matter, or I can call it VPN. It means this VPN goes to site A and I'm at site B. So the outgoing interface, outgoing, it's not incoming, it's I'm using traffic is leaving this, so it will leave through the tunnel. Then incoming, it will be this one. Then outgoing, it will be this one. Then the source, when you come to the source, you create the address groups, just as I did on LAN A, LAN A 12, so the moment you create something, you will see the firewall reloads, saving it. LAN B 192.24. So you leave everything the way it is. Those address groups will help me here. So the source is LAN B, then destination is LAN A, the LAN on the side A side. You see, the service is all, though you can specify the services to be blocked. You disable NAT, you log all sessions, then okay. Once you do this, you select the rule, you clone and reverse. And remember, when you clone a rule and reverse it, it is always in disabled mode. So you have to enable it upon changing the suitable. So this one, VPN site A, so site B VPN. So you can see this was LAN B, then this is LAN A, LAN B. So you select, then come the status enable. So I'm done configuring IPSec VPN in FortiGate Firewall, creating the rules. Now the remaining phase is confirming whether our tunnel is up, either we've messed or we are good to go. So first I will check where I started creating the tunnel. Let me enable so that this one does not log me out. If maybe you feel free that maybe something you've not understood a concept within this lab here, feel free to comment. You can just call me at 0753 939-688. So that is it. So let me confirm whether my tunnel is up. You come on the VPN side, IP tunnels. You see, it's up. The moment you see the green, you see, that is the status. It means IPSec VPN site B. The type of that VPN is custom. Remote gateway is this one. This is the IP address for site B. And remember, I'm at site B, site A here. So incoming data, you see, 706 kilobytes. Then outgoing is this one. It is going through phase 1. You see, reference is this. So my VPN tunnel is up. So let me check also this side. So it is time to verify. You come on the tunnels. If you just do the correct thing, once the one tunnel on one face is up, the other must also be up. So let me be on this side B, then come on this terminal emulator. You see the traffic is already going because it's pinging already. But let me stop that, then ping 192.168.11.1. So I'm pinging the gateway that is facing the site A LAN. You see it's pinging. So when you check on the tunnel status right now, traffic is moving. So to check that, you can just click on, sorry, that's not what I intended. Yes, you see, traffic is moving, the incoming and outgoing. You see how it is working? It is passing through the tunnel. You see, it is interchanging from amber to, you see, because here, because on this traffic is going and pinging, traffic is moving from site B LAN to site A LAN. You can see here. So that's why you see it has already reached 21.5 kilobytes. Outgoing is 19.4. So this is how you can configure VPN. You see, it's already at 30. So we can also check the same. It is not passing through this interface. There is a virtual interface. There is a virtual interface. There is a virtual interface that has been created between site A and site B. So let me just make it at least you understand. I'll do that. Do that. So this is the tunnel that the traffic is passing through. So that is it. Let me now come to this particular side and ping the other side. Let me stop this traffic from flowing. Can you see? For site B is this one. So you come to the IP, and you see it is having this IP address. So then ping 192.168.12.1. You see it's pinging. So as it continues to ping, let me enable this to be DHCP, especially this one, IP DHCP. The moment you see DORA, it means it has discovered, able to be offered upon the request IP address from the server. So you can see this it also works. You see, it's pinging. So that's how we configure the IPSec in GNS3. You see, when we refresh here, traffic is moving. It has increased and it is passing through. You see, phase 1 is here, then phase 2 selectors here. So the phase 2 selectors are the ones that are helping this traffic to flow. So this tunnel here is a virtual tunnel that I have represented here using this. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Also, I just humbly request you to subscribe at Netlabs Hub. Keep watching this particular tutorial under the playlist Mastering Firewall, FortiGate Firewall Administration on YouTube. So let me see you in the next video. Thank you.